October 30th. Written by clevername21 from the Reddit Nosleep subreddit. It's a nice morning. I sit on the porch immersed in the paper. I like to read on the porch before the day begins. It wakes me up more than coffee ever could. I'm scanning over the local section of the Times. So-and-so is going to be inaugurated as mayor soon. The park needs to be safer, says citizen. I'm reaching the end of the page when a noise alerts me and I glance up. A small girl is standing at the end of the stepping stone walkway that leads up to my porch. She has a white dress on and a white veil falls down over her face, hiding any features. Strange. I feel uneasy. It could be the fact that the sun isn't completely done rising behind her, or perhaps that my vision isn't quite so up for it early in the morning. But she appears grainy and washed out, like an old photograph. The effect is unsettling. She stands and doesn't move. I call out, "Hello? Are you lost? Do you know where your parents are?" No response for a second or two. Then she cocks her head.
"It's not Halloween yet."
She says in a small, quiet voice.
"Halloween is tomorrow. I'm just trying on my outfit."
I'm confused. It's the middle of July. I'm on the porch in shorts and a shirt. October is months away. "I'm sorry?" I asked out loud. "Are you sure you aren't lost? Let's find your parents." She goes stiff.
"No, don't touch me. I'll tell my daddy. He'll hit you really hard. Stop it, stop!"
I had previously been beckoning to her, but I stop. I draw back, uncertain of how to deal with this situation. The child turns and runs. I tell myself I should chase after her, but I don't want to. I'm too unsettled. About a month later, it's about evening, and I'm sorting through my attic. I sift through a pile of old bedspreads and uncover a small box. It's unfamiliar to me, but that's not unusual. The first year I moved in, I found loads of things belonging to previous owners. I open the box up and see that it contains old photographs. I reach in and pull out one that catches my eye. It must have been from someone who lived here a number of years ago. The picture is worn out, sepia tone, and slightly blurred. When I focus on the subject, I smile. It's a photograph of a little girl sitting in a yard surrounded by piles of leaves. She has a huge smile on her face and appears to be enjoying herself. Something else catches my eye. There's a light blue sedan parked almost out of sight in the corner of the picture. A shadowy figure is just noticeable behind the wheel. The car is familiar, but I don't know from where. I place the picture back in the box and pick up another. The girl again. Now she's on a swing set in a nearby park that I sometimes take my niece to. It looks like her mother is pushing her. In the parking lot I could see the sedan again. The shadowy figure seems to be looking in the direction of the girl. I'm a little unnerved by it, but perhaps it's just a relative. I pick up another picture. My heart skips a beat, knocking the smile from my face. It looks to be early fall, and the girl is standing on the sidewalk at the end of the walkway leading up to my front porch. She's wearing a white dress with a thin veil hanging over her face. It looks to be early fall. The picture is washed out and grainy. I swallow hard and feel a chill run down my back. The sedan is in the picture again. It appears to be idling almost out of sight of the photo at the edge of the curb on the other side of the street. The shadowy figure staring at the child again. I can just make out a slight upturn of the corners of his lips. I shudder involuntarily. I know why the stand is familiar. I've seen it idling in the same spot before. There's a rap at my front door. The sudden noise nearly gives me a heart attack. I take one last look at the box of pictures, then bury it beneath all the sheets I found under. I have no intention of ever looking at it again. I rush out of the attic and down the stairs to my first floor. I'm spooked and leave on all the lights behind me. My mind doesn't process that it's strange to have someone knocking this late. I just hope that it's someone who I can sit down with. A rational human being who can allay my fears. No luck. When I open the door, there's nobody there. A chill goes down my spine, and I shout at the night. It was just teenagers ding-dong ditching. At least that's what I whispered to myself silently. That's enough. I begin to shut the door. As I'm closing it, my eyes drawn to a blue sedan idling at the end of the road. I open the door to get a closer look, but it pulls back and drives away. I slam the door shut and run to my couch. I turn on the television and get a fitful night's sleep. October 30th. I'm lying in my bedroom trying to fall asleep. I had spoken to a friend since the events of 2 months ago and decided that I was overreacting to a series of unusual coincidences. However, tonight I feel uneasy again. I stare up at the ceiling and try to imagine it as an impenetrable barrier, keeping anything out of my room that I don't want. I haven't returned to the attic since that evening. I'm worried the picture won't be there anymore. Or maybe something worse. My phone rings. I give out a gasp of surprise, then feel embarrassed. I lean over and pick it up off my nightstand. Hello? I inquire in a calm a voice as possible.
Trick or treat.
Comes a hollow voice on the other end of the line. I freeze. It feels like the cold sweat that's been beating my forehead all night has frozen as well. I'm about to choke out a response, but something else does before I can.
It's not Halloween yet. Halloween is tomorrow. I'm just trying on my outfit.
I'm breaking down in my bed. I feel like I'm going insane.
Really? Is that so? I'll just have to come back later.
Returns the empty voice. I've had enough. I slam the phone back down on the receiver and jump out of the bed to put on my shoes. I'm going to the police to report this. As I slide into my sneakers, I hear a knock. It's coming from downstairs. It's coming from the door of the bathroom adjoining my room. I begin to whimper and squeeze out tears from the corners of my eyes.
Trick or treat.
It was the hollow voice from the phone. Empty. Cold. I could feel it crawling into my head, curling around my consciousness and constricting it. The sound of it is driving me insane. I sprint out of my room and nearly break my neck grabbing onto the banister at the top of the stairs and spinning around to go crashing down the steps. I dash through my kitchen and up to my front door. I fumble with it, trying to get it open. I hear sounds coming from upstairs. Slow, dragging footsteps. I moan and try to shut out the sound, focusing on the door. Finally, I regain my motor skills enough to turn the knob properly and step out into the night, slamming the door as I leave. I nearly trip over a little girl standing on my porch. She's dressed in all white with a veil hanging over her face. I'm frozen in place, immobilized by fear. My mind feels frayed around the edges. I can't. No. I don't want to comprehend what's happening. A hand reaches out from one of the little girl's sleeves and grabs a hold of my wrist. What little blood was left in my face now completely drains out. I look down at the hand grasping my arm with a morbid understanding. It's not the hand of a child.